Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another quick pick prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the bantamweight bout between Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. And who I'm going with this one, I'm going Jose Aldo via average confidence. Yes, age is against him. Merab Dvalishvili looking like a pretty beast at his weight class, but Aldo has been looking pretty sharp for himself in his weight class. He beat two guys that pretty stand out in the division right now. You got Rob Font, you got Marlon Vera. He beat them both pretty convincingly. It wasn't no controversial decision. He beat them both pretty convincingly, and he won 5 rounds with Rob Font, and probably actually looked better in the later rounds than he did in the first round. So Aldo looked pretty good in that fight, and looked pretty good in the matter of fact, all 3 of his wins, he's on a win streak right now. Look pretty good. And what I would say about Jose Aldo, yes, his age is kind of getting up there. And yes, he's been fighting since he's been like 12 or 2 years old. So the man got much more mileage than his age would say. Even just going off his mileage, you probably say this man like 50 years old or something. But it's just they started so young. And even when he was kind of fading, he was still like 32 or 33. And now he's like 34, 35. So it's like he was kind of in a lot of people's prime, but it's like he had been fighting so long that his prime had kind of diminished. Also, people had kind of got tape on him. But when you look at all his losses, have been to some of the best strikers in MMA history, as I said in the pre-fight analysis. So y'all should check in on that sometimes when before y'all watch the video, so y'all could get a little bit of a feel where my head is at before I actually make my picks. But yeah, Jose Aldo lost look at his first UFC loss, Conor McGregor. In many people's eyes, one of the best strikers in MMA history. To some people, he's the best striker in MMA history. To some people, I would not agree, but he's one of the better strikers in MMA history. You cannot take it away from him. Conor McGregor. Max Holloway, one of the better strikers, one of the better boxers in MMA history of all time, lost to him twice. Then you kind of throw in Volkanovski, who's has been, he's the featherweight champion right now and undisputed, beat everybody that has a claim against him. So, and he beat the other 2 best featherweight. So he beat Holloway, he beat Aldo. Is he the best all-time featherweight? We don't know this yet, but definitely making a very great case for himself right now, Volkanovski. And if he go up 55, maybe even start making a great case for an truly all-time great, maybe top 5, maybe even top 5. But you kind of get the drift. And then you got Piotr. Is it Piotr or Peter? I'm gonna say Peter Yan. One of the better strikers and definitely one of the most overrated, but definitely one of the better strikers in MMA history. Piotr Yan, and one of the better, probably the best striker actively right now in bantamweight division. So Piotr Yan, and then you got Marlon Moraes as well. So Dvalishvili has beaten Marlon Moraes, but that's his last fight. But yeah, Aldo still maintains a 90% takedown defense ratio, even after his prime. Still maintains that 90%. I think it was like 95 at one point or even higher, but right now still maintains a 90% one. And Dvalishvili still seemingly is a pretty much one-dimensional fighter. He's not working on other skill sets. His pace is crazy. I feel like the best thing he presented in this fight, firstly, is wrestling, and secondly, his pace, and thirdly, his heart. And maybe his heart first, and then his wrestling, and then his pace. By the way, those 3 things, heart, wrestling, and pace, can be a big factor. Probably most particularly his pace. Matter of fact, yeah, because pace. But anywho, yeah, it's like Aldo's takedown finish should hold up, but Dvalishvili will go for 10, 20, 30 takedowns, so he might get 3 takedowns out of that. 90% accuracy, go for 30 takedowns, and get 3 of them. So, but I feel like it'll be a lot of work. Probably give some rounds, but very competitive fight. Don't feel like he can go out easily, so probably go to a decision. Aldo started off good, shutting the takedowns off. Aldo striking, looking pretty good. Second round, pretty close, probably a half and half round. Aldo looking good, but then Dvalishvili finally able to get the takedown, get control. Not really doing a whole lot with it. The third round, Aldo probably looking good, but then Dvalishvili probably getting like 3 minutes of takedowns, probably landing some ground and pound, and win a very close decision over Dvalishvili. So that's what I'm saying. Very close decision for Jose Aldo, maybe even a split. But age is still a factor, wear and tear, and also just a tape out there on Aldo as well. Dvalishvili will bring it very close, but I think Aldo will win it very close. Look sharp, maintain second, third round, kind of slips a little bit from him, but still able to just hang it out and win the first 2 rounds. So in this fight, I have Jose Aldo via decision.